Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be discussing about cloud computing. Computing is being transferred into a model consisting of services that are commoditized and delivered in a manner similar to utilities such as water, electricity, gas, and telephony. In such a model, users access services based on their requirements regardless of where the services are hosted. Cloud computing is the most recent emerging paradigm promising to turn the vision of computing utilities into a reality. Cloud computing is a technology advancement. It is based on the concept of dynamic provisioning, which is applied not only to services but also to compute capability, storage networking, and information technology infrastructure in general. Resources are made available through the internet and offered on a pay-per-use basis from cloud computing vendors. So cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and databases on a as-needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Services. Cloud computing at a glance. In 1969, Leonard Kleinrock, one of the chief scientists of the original Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, that is ARPANET, which seeded the internet, said, as of now, computer networks are still in their infancy, but as they grow up and become sophisticated, we will probably see the spread of computer utilities, which, like present electric and telephone utilities, will service individual homes and offices across the country. Cloud computing allows renting infrastructure, runtime environment, and services on a pay-per-use basis. End users leveraging cloud computing services can access their documents and data anytime, anywhere, and from any device connected to the internet. One of the most diffuse views of cloud computing can be summarized as follows. I don't care where my servers are, who manages them, where my documents are stored, or where my applications are hosted. I just want them always available and access them from any device connected to internet, and I'm willing to pay for this service for as long as I needed it. Web 2.0 technologies play a central role in making cloud computing an attractive opportunity for building computing systems. Service orientation allows cloud computing to deliver its capabilities with familiar abstractions, while virtualization confers on cloud computing the necessary degree of customization, control, and flexibility for building production and enterprise systems. Next, we'll see the vision of cloud computing. Cloud computing allows anyone with a credit card to provision virtual hardware, runtime environment, and services. These are used as long as needed with no upfront commitments required. The entire stack of computing system is transferred into a collection of utilities which can be provisioned and composed together to deploy systems in hours rather than days and with virtually to maintain no maintenance costs. So this is the picture that is showing the cloud computing vision. Previously, the lack of effective standardization efforts made it difficult to move hosted services from one vendor to another. The long-term vision of cloud computing is that IT services are traded as utilities in an open market without technological and legal barriers. In this cloud marketplace, cloud service providers and consumers trading cloud services as utilities play a central role. Many of the technological elements contributing to this vision already exist. The capability for web-based access to documents and their processing using sophisticated application is one of the appealing factors for end users. Vision of cloud computing is that in the near future, it will be possible to find a solution that matches the customer needs by simply entering our request in a global digital market that trades cloud computing services. Next is defining a cloud. Different notions of cloud computing is as shown in the figure 1.2. The internet plays a fundamental role in cloud computing. Since it represents either the medium or the platform through which many cloud computing services are delivered and make accessible, this aspect is also reflected in the definition given by Armbrust. Cloud computing refers to both the application delivered as services over the internet and the hardware and system software in the data centers that provide those services. This definition describes cloud computing as a phenomenon touching on the entire stack from the underlying hardware to the high-level software services and applications. It it introduces the concept of everything as a service, mostly referred as XaaS, where the different components of system, IT infrastructure, development platforms, databases, and so on can be delivered, measured, and consequently priced as a service. The approach fostered by cloud computing is global. This notion of multiple parties using a shared cloud computing environment is highlighted in a definition proposed by the US National Institute of Standards and Technology. Cloud computing is a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interaction. According to Rees, we can define three criteria to discriminate whether a service is delivered in a cloud computing style. The service is accessible via a web browser or a web services application programming interface. Zero capital expenditure is necessary to get started. You pay only for what you use it. The utility orientation nature of cloud computing is clearly expressed by Buya. A cloud is a type of parallel and distributed system consisting of a collection of interconnected and virtualized computers that are dynamically provisioned and presented as one of the more unified computing resources based on service level agreements established through negotiation between the service provider and consumers. A closer look. Cloud computing is helping in enterprises, governments, public and private institutions, and research organizations shape more effective and demand-driven computing systems. Practical examples of such systems exist across all market segments. Large enterprises can offload some of their activities to cloud-based systems. Recently, the New York Times has converted its digital library of past edition into a web-friendly format. This required a considerable amount of computing power for a short period of time. By renting Amazon EC2 and S3 cloud resources, the Times performed this task in 36 hours and relinquished these resources with no additional cost. Small enterprises and startups can afford to translate their ideas into business results more quickly without excessive upfront cost. System developers can concentrate on the business logic rather than dealing with the complexity of infrastructure management and scalability. End users can have their documents accessible from everywhere and any device. Cloud computing does not only contribute with the opportunity of easily accessing IT services on demand, it also introduces a new way of thinking about IT services and resources as utilities. The three major models for deploying and accessing cloud computing environments are public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Thank you.